Good day to you. How are you? Well, it is currently the 11th of May today, and I am back. Yes. Now, for those of you who followed the story on my TikTok channel and also my YouTube channel, Andy Wright Travel. If you were there and you saw the videos, you will know exactly why it's currently the 11th of May and not the end of April. The fact is that I had a slight mishap and basically I was taken to hospital. Dislocated elbow is what they say it was. My arm was in plaster for about 2 weeks, nearly, and I was medically repatriated on Thursday this last week. So I've only been back a couple of days, and it's been hell. Been trying to get a GP appointment because that's what I was told to do, to try and get another X-ray or something. Of course, there is a thing on my arm, which I can't really show you at the moment, but you can see it later. There's a thing, it's not a plaster cast, but it is a sort of a bandage thing. If I don't wear it, then there is a risk that I may well bang it or damage it in some way. So you could say that my trip was enjoyable. However, the last month of it, well, because I had 2 weeks extra, paid for by the insurance company, so basically 4 weeks in all, with 2 weeks extra that I shouldn't really have had, but I wasn't allowed to fly. They refused a fit to fly because of my arm. The good thing is, I'll tell you more about it as we go on. But we do have this story here, which happened recently, in fact 2 days ago. This is about the point system that hasn't come in yet, so please don't panic. There is nothing to worry about yet. This is it's all speculation. As we know, they like to keep you worried and anxious. So please don't be. We'll let you know when it actually comes in. We can still object, and that's what I recommend we do. Anyway, there are 3 conditions that you may have that are most likely to keep their payments as they are, because you know what they're trying to do is that when you have your PIP form, your assessment, there are various categories. In those categories, there are various items that you have to do or tell them about. For example, can you wash and dress? Can you feed yourself? Can you do this, that and the other? Now, each section, they should have at least one section with 4 points. If you look at the descriptors, you'll see that the 4 points is generally for those who can't do anything. So, for example, cannot wash, dress, or toilets, for example. That's one of the more extreme items. But you need at least one with 4 points. Now, the majority of us, in fact, there are 1 point something million who have PIP, who are likely to lose PIP because of the fact that they don't have a 4-pointer. They might have several items that add up to 4 or more, because obviously you need 8 minimum. 12 is ideal, and anything more than that is a bonus. So it is, as we say, a Brucey bonus. And what do points make?
And points make prizes here. That's all I've got to say.
Correct. And the prizes is that you keep your money and you're able to live. Now, the idea is that they're trying to save money they obviously can save money elsewhere. And this is just basically vindictive, nasty attack on anybody who's severely disabled. There will be those out there who are saying, well, it's easy to get, there's lots of fraud. And you'd be wrong, because it's not easy to get and there's hardly any fraud. And for those people commenting, and I've seen them, they make this ridiculous claim, I know Fred Bloggs and his family, they're claiming benefits and they don't deserve it because they're not disabled. Right, okay. First thing you need to remember is anybody making a claim like that should provide the evidence. There is fraud, but it is minuscule compared to the overpayments that they make and other things. So let's get into the correct perspective. These people are idiots. So this is the article. It is in one of these standard sort of MSM news outlets that are out there. A group has outlined which PIP recipients are most likely to retain their benefits after the proposed changes. Now, obviously, bear in mind that they're not in place, so there's nothing to worry about. MPs and charities have voiced concerns that many disabled people who are reliant on this and could be in line for losing it. The daily living element of it pays for their care. The green paper that is referred to is trying to address two primary issues, and I would argue that these are not even real. The escalating cost of disabled benefits, well, look at why there are so many disabled people, and you'll see, track it back to the government's actions as well. And then obviously the proposed cuts that they want to make, savings by 2030, so 5 billion, but they could do that in other ways. They are obviously announced this a long time ago. The independent British think tank, established in 2005, aims to enhance living standards of low to middle income families. PIP is a benefit designed for individuals who require assistance with daily activities or mobility due to long-term illness or disability. They've issued a stark warning about this. It's going to impact a lot more people than they say. It is going to be between 800,000 and 1.2 million, losing support of around about 4,000 or 6,000 by the year 2029. Those losing out will be the people who would currently qualify for a daily living element but score under 4 points in each of the 10 headings. So they would have to have, obviously this is talking about each category requiring low level needs. So what they're saying is, if you can have a go at do a little bit of cooking, a little bit of washing and dressing, then you'll be in that category. The foundation has shed light on this, and they say that the DWP have not released any evidence of the impact of these changes, although they do know. Now, the conditions are quite shocking. So they're saying that people with learning difficulties, cerebral palsy and autism are less likely to be affected, since people receiving these with the conditions are most likely to score 21 points or more in the daily living part of the PIP assessment, meaning that they are very unlikely to have passed the assessment without scoring 4 or more points in one of the headings. Let's repeat. It is learning difficulties. That includes obviously Down syndrome and other learning difficulties, cerebral palsy, and shocking one there, autism. I didn't realise that was in a similar sort of category, but it is, and likely to receive 21 points or more. Study has found out that limiting access to financial support for people with conditions will cause the most economic harm. Data shows that there are currently 3.7 million people in England and Wales who are receiving PIP, and of course if it's going to affect 1.2 million of those, then there's going to be a lot of people suffering the reduction in money. Now, bear in mind that this is the Pathway to Work Green Paper. It includes a plan to require a minimum score of 4 points in at least one category. So there you go. That is quite an interesting little snippet of information coming out that learning difficulties, cerebral palsy and autism are less likely to be affected by the proposed cuts in benefits and PIP. Oh, hello. Sorry to interrupt the video. Just to say that if you're interested in and keen to watch new episodes before they come out, the best way to do that is become a Patreon, and you can do that very simply. Just go to patreon.com/Andy Wright Online and sign up for a monthly donation, which can be as small as $5, which is hardly anything. If you think about it, you can probably get a cup of Costa coffee if you're lucky. But $5 a month will allow you access to all of the videos that I'm going to be bringing out in the next few months, and you will get them at least a week early, so you can entertain yourself with the new episodes. Sorry to bother you, but now back to the video. And I am sort of glad to be back, but my arm is still not right, and it does make things difficult when you are right-handed and it is your right hand. Right, that's it. Have a good day. Bye for now.